Hello to everyone. Hope you have an amazing start to your weekend. I just went outside and it's cold as balls out there. The cold has got me hyped up. So I'm ready to go. Whew. All right. I want to talk about a couple of topics having to do with the NFL. One of them being Deion Sanders possibly becoming head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Two, the NFC and AFC Divisional Round playoff matchups. My picks for those games. Okay, so I'm going to start with the bigger news. Sorry, playoffs. But it is Deion Sanders possibly becoming the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I've been very critical of the Cowboys. Well, Jerry, mostly. But especially when it came to possible new head coaching jobs after McCarthy and the Cowboys parted ways. But I've listened to the analysts over the week. I sat on it. And now I'm thinking, you know what? Not only do I think Deion is a great choice, but he may be the only choice to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Why? Because Deion and Jerry have a great respect for one another. Now, I'm not quoting here, but I believe Jerry had once said that if he had 11 Deions, that he can rule the world. That's high praise. I believe that Deion, when he got the call from Jerry, wasn't even before he got the call from Jerry, wasn't even thinking about going to the NFL. But because Jerry called, he was willing to listen, willing to hear him out. And after it, he said he was intrigued. He told Adam Schefter of ESPN that he was intrigued. That when Jerry calls, you listen. And then not too long after that, he said that if Jerry offered him the job, that he would almost certainly take it. Because it's Jerry. It's the Dallas Cowboys. It's his old stomping grounds. And business-wise, it will really work out for both. Because Jerry wants the Cowboys' name plastered everywhere. And what's this news already done with the possibility of Deion Sanders becoming head coach? If it actually does happen, that news is going to hit like crack. It's going to be everywhere. The sports world will be talking. Mainstream media will be talking about it as well. Deion is a walking brand himself. So you got America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, and you got Deion Primetime Sanders. I mean, it didn't get no bigger than that. And then you look at the games and that in the upcoming season, network's gonna be fighting for it because it's gonna be box office. So business side, that works, but professionally, that's where it's some work's got to be done because both of them are alphas. Jerry likes to say that the buck stops with him, and Deion likes to build things the way he sees fit, as a coach should. He did that in Jackson State. He did that in Colorado, up there in Colorado. So it just comes down to compromise. That's what it comes down to. You can have love and respect, but if you can't compromise with one another, it ain't going anywhere. It's going to be a tumultuous relationship. You need trust, you need compromise, you need love, and you need respect. And do you want it bad enough? Do they want it bad enough? Now, Deion's obviously got options. He can do what he pleases. Jerry, though, you can say he got options, but not really. And after the season that they've had and the blow-ups that he's had towards the media, you would think that he would want to make this work. That he would find a way, that he'd pay whatever kind of money Deion would be asking for and just make it happen. Because right now, the Cowboys Nation kind of losing faith in the team because of the decisions that have been made by the owner slash GM Jerry Jones and his son Stephen Jones, who supposedly doesn't like for him to call dad. He has to call him Jerry. That's weird, but okay, whatever. Y'all do you. Well, y'all do y'all, whatever. But when it comes to this team, it's been really hard to get behind them because it kind of feels like the same old story over and over and over again. But but Jerry being able to pull this, being able to let go of the reins, let Deion be Deion, that would be very prosperous for the Cowboys franchise, and it really bring a lot of the Cowboy fans kind of back to just maybe believing, hoping, being cautiously optimistic rather than being so pessimistic. I mean, the online discourse is crazy, but it's not without warrant because I mean this the guys leading it haven't really done much to really secure or advance this Cowboys team to being its absolute best. Deion Sanders could really change this franchise for the better. I feel like he can. He's an old school football coach. He's going to cut out the nonsense. But also, he's a leader amongst men. I mean, can you imagine him motivating Micah Parsons, motivating Darren Bland, motivating Trayvon Diggs, motivating Dak Prescott? Say Michael Irvin. Now, Michael Irvin don't need no hyping up. Come on. We all see him out there. He don't need any hyping up. I was going to say CeeDee Lamb. But just he's a leader amongst men. He's a leader of men. So I think that because he can bring that change of culture and what he can do from this franchise, and he doesn't have to build it up. Like I just pointed out the stars and stuff. He doesn't have to build it from the ground up necessarily. He's got people that he can that are already there, built-in stars, but it's just going to come down to the fact that, can Deion just be Deion? Can Jerry let him do that? And can Deion most likely live with the fact that he also has to answer to Jerry? And I feel like it could work. Personally, I feel like it could work because Deion knows what it's like to be part of the brand, part of America's team. He was a player here. He understands what it means. He understands Jerry. So I believe he's the only candidate out there who can be a Dallas Cowboy coach. And I would say that I wouldn't have as much doubt as I do with the other guys. Now, as we wait for a decision to be made, there's still interviews to be had. I think Robert Saleh is supposed to be today or this weekend. Kellen Moore virtual interview happened. Let me say this on behalf of all Cowboy fans: we do not want Kellen Moore. Let's be for real. We do not want Kellen Moore. Okay, yeah, he's doing pretty great over there in Philadelphia. Let him stay in Philadelphia. All right, let's be for real. Philadelphia ain't the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, they ain't the franchise. Look, because it's more about. And here's the thing that's kind of been a double-edged sword here. It's the celebrity status that you also have to deal with. It's winning hard, but also having to deal with the celebrity status. And let me tell you something, Kellen Moore. Not a lot of people can deal with that, and Kellen Moore was one of those guys. He couldn't deal with that. He's doing great in Philly. Let him stay up there in Philly. But he ain't made for it. I'm sorry, and he may be highly regarded, but for the love of God, Jerry, don't do it. Do not do this to us. But I just feel like it's one of those really dumb choices that he's going to do if he can get Deion, or he just may just assume that Kellen Moore may be his guy, and I really hope to God it doesn't happen. So please, for the love of God, Jerry, don't do it. Do not do it. No, 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 no. Infinitely no to Kellen Moore. God, no. Please, God, no. Other names being thrown out, Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn. I think Aaron Glenn would actually be great for New Orleans, but I wouldn't mind him as the head coach. I would put him number 2 ahead of Kellen Moore. Let's be for real about that. But Ben Johnson's probably going to end up with the Raiders. That's what everyone's saying. He could go with the Bears, but I feel like Mike McCarthy's got that on lock for sure. But the Bears are interviewing 19 head coaches. It's crazy as shit. That's crazy. 19. Okay. Well, anyways, a decision probably won't be made until maybe around like mid-February, early March. You want to get it done before the draft, obviously. So, yeah. It's really going to come down to, do both sides really want it bad enough? Now, Deion doesn't necessarily need the Cowboys. He can just stay in Colorado. But I think Jerry needs this. Jerry wants this. He needs this. He's enamored with the idea now. He can't get out of his mind. I pray to God that he doesn't make a dumb decision again. But this is Jerry we're talking about. And lately, that's all it's been. So, let's see. Cautiously optimistic about this situation if Deion becomes. Because I'm trying not to get my hopes up. But this team, this franchise, just brings you up here and then brings you all the way back down here. What can you do? All right. Let's move on to the next topic. The NFC and AFC Divisional Round playoff matchups. First one, we got the the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Houston Texans. Kansas City Chiefs, are better than the Texans across the board, I feel. But do the Texans still have a chance? There's always a chance for an upset. Oh wait, I forgot. The weather. It's 22 degrees. I think it's supposed to be. I think it's 22 degrees right now. I'm not sure. I think it's supposed to be a little bit higher when the game starts. It's not saying much. There's supposed to be some snow flurries. Nah, I'm sorry, but that's just excuse me. That's just not. It's not gonna work. Okay, because here it is. It's cold as balls right now for people in Texas. Not maybe across the the Panhandle and whatnot, but when you're talking about Dallas and Houston, we are immobile. We are immobilized. We do not know what the hell to do. We are in shock when we're hit with the cold. I mean, you should have seen us when we got hit with that winter storm. It wasn't too bad like it was the previous years, but yeah, man, and now you're gonna go up there to Kansas City, which they are known for dealing with this kind of crap. Houston, they ain't got it. They ain't got it. They're already not that talent enough. But now you have to go up there and it's cold as hell. They ain't got it. I'm sorry. I like the Texans, but no, they ain't got it. You ain't gonna beat Patrick Mahomes. You just ain't. That man is almost Tom Brady status, I would say. He's not there yet, but he's getting there. All right. Next up in the AFC, that would be, I think, be tomorrow's game, is the battle of the two leading MVP candidates in Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills and Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens. Now, I believe that weather is supposed to be snowing. I believe it's supposed to be snowing heavily. I may be wrong about that. Y'all let me know in the comment section if anybody actually watches these videos. But no, I feel like Buffalo is more used to it. I just feel like they're more used to it. I feel it, but it's going to be relying heavily on the run game, and you got Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen can cancel each other out, but you got Derrick Henry. I don't want to bet against Derrick Henry. That man just tore through the Steelers like nothing. I mean, absolutely, positively nothing. He just tore right through them. So he was baptizing people left and right with the doggone Heisman stiff arms. But God, it is a really tough matchup. I believe their defenses are ranked between 10 and 20. I believe the Ravens are ranked 10th and Buffalo's ranked 17th. And passing, when you put passing and yardage together and all that statistics and whatnot. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go with the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore Ravens pick up the win. Besides, I don't think Josh Allen's feel too bad. He might win the MVP even after this game. If they both have a good game and it's a close one, I think Josh Allen still wins MVP, even though Lamar Jackson feel like he can win number 2. MVP number 2, but you know what? Josh Allen may not win this game, but hey, he may just become MVP, and he is marrying Haley Steinfeld. I mean, it don't get any better than that. One lucky dude, and congrats to the happy couple. All right, moving on. We got the I don't know which one comes first, but I do know it is the Commanders versus the Lions. And as much as I love Jaden Daniels, and that's weird for me to say, Cowboy fan, but I'm going to go with the Lions. I just think that the Lions are just too good across the board. And they have too many weapons. And I think Jaden Daniels is just not going to have... You know what? I'm going to say this. He may have a breakout game, but he's not going to be able to give him over the hump. I think the Lions are going back to the NFC Championship game. I love that team. I love their energy. I love Dan Campbell. Fantastic coach. Changed the whole culture there. I'm rooting for the Lions to win the whole thing. That's my pick. That is my Super Bowl pick. On the other side, we got the Eagles versus the Rams, who just demolished the hell out of the 14-3 Vikings. But hey, you got Sam Darnold, and also screw you Vikings. Okay, I could have been perfect this past weekend. I could have been perfect, but you know what? You made me 5-1, so to hell with you guys. Sorry, douchebags. Especially you, Sam Darnold. Fraud. All right. Anyways, Eagles, Rams. It's tough because I feel like they kind of match up pretty well. To me, at least. I think it's gonna be a close one, but I'm gonna give it to the Eagles. I'm gonna give it to the Eagles. Saquon Barkley. You got Saquon, you got the Slim Reaper, you got AJ Brown. So I just feel like they shouldn't lose that game, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did. Okay. So I'm gonna go with the Eagles. It's gonna be Lions and Eagles, NFC Championship game, but I am picking the Lions to win that one. So those are my picks. All right. But I will say this before I go. The Texans beating the Chiefs would be a hell of an upset. They're going to need a wacky-ass game like they got against the Chargers to beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead Stadium. That's the only way the Texans win. That would be the big upset. But I don't think it's happening. So, yeah. All right. Well, those are my picks. Those are my thoughts on the possibility of Deion becoming the head coach of Dallas Cowboys. I hope you guys have an amazing start to your weekend. I believe I said that in the early in the video. All right. Just have a great Saturday. Have a great Sunday. Please be safe out there and know tough times. I'm going to keep saying this. Tough times don't last. Badass people do. Believe in your badassery. and you'll be good. All right. Love you guys. Peace.